When we talk about culture, not civilization, when we talk about culture, we are talking about ideas and emotions that give our personal lives content and meaning. The way we express that in art, in lifestyle, in spiritual life. One civilization, many cultures. It's a way of creating unity in diversity in Europe. There is no social cohesion possible without this double track. Otherwise, you don't have a society, but a permanent clash. Harmony, a peaceful living together, has to be built on something solid. But harmony, and God knows that is a key word in the Chinese civilization, but harmony has to find its origin in much more, in particular in the personal ethic, where people not only tolerate but also respect the others, where they help each other themselves and not wait for others or the government to do it for you, where there are rights but also duties. And the latter always means duties towards the others. Harmony doesn't mean oneness. We all are different as human beings, and we want to express it. The time is over that Europe tries to impose its civilization on other nations outside its borders. It was the idea of a superior civilization. But Europeans are not the only ones used to think they are better and that others are in decline. Every civilization, every nation must be humble. Even inside Europe, some nations thought they were superior to others. This time is over, once and for all. Humanity and Europe paid a high price for this perverse idea of superiority. We draw lessons from all this. Reconversion started on the graves of tens of millions of innocent deaths during so many wars. The European Union as a peace project was built on this tragic failure. This feeling of superiority, also outside Europe, was often an alibi for military conquest or economic exploitation. The cultural superstructure is invoked to justify just economic interests and power. It's a mistake made in the West and in the East. Just as the new China was born in 1949, a new Europe was born around the same time. One cannot compare the European Union of the last decades and of today with the empires of before. A shift in the balance of power at global level took place after 1945. Also a dramatic shift in the idea of what Europe should be in terms of values. And those two elements are needed to understand this turnaround. I explain, instead of a colonial and imperial power, the EU is now the biggest donor of development and humanitarian aid. Instead of being a military superpower, Europe is today even too much a soft power. The EU as such has no army. A third series of reflections is about East and West. A society is composed of human beings. In today's world, in Asia as well as in Europe, one cannot deny the rise of individualism and materialism. The consumption society, the consumption world, is a reality. I have to admit that the affluent society is more a reality in my part of the world than in many other parts of the planet. This mentality can turn everywhere long-standing values upside down, such as family, solidarity, and sense of the common good, long-term thinking and acting, social capital, etc. One of the sources of this growing individualism are competition of all kinds and technology. According to the famous sociologist Robert Putnam, television decreased associative life because people stayed at home to watch television instead of meeting each other. And the introduction of smartphones and tablets has amplified this movement. In the society I know best, everyone can make a choice what and when to see and to listen to without any interference of others. It can be liberating, but it also can be disruptive for the cohesion of a society. Linkages, bonds, connection between people are of the essence to be and to become creative, to structure and to stabilize a community and a person. A fragmented club, a club of only individuals, is not a club. Distrust, volatility and discontent are often byproducts of individualization of our societies. And this is not restricted to Europe, but it is a worldwide phenomenon, especially in the cities. I think we have to face it and to look for ways to reconnect people. By reconnecting them, you empower people. Togetherness restores the values we all cherish and that makes that we love life. The world remains very diverse, but some features are common to a lot of nations. The term Asian values shouldn't be used as if it covers the Asian continent as a whole. It concerns mainly what in Europe is called the Far East. The Arab world heritage, the Arab world belongs to another cultural tradition. And I'm not insisting on the differences in culture in China, India and Japan, although there is partially a common cultural history, and religion played a role in this.